All right, here's a quickie. Functional area information systems. Well, these are basically designed to support business in its various departments. For example, accounting, payroll, inventory, sales, um, human resources, everything that is affiliated with a business enterprise. However, if a company, and this is what this leads up to, if a company depends only on these individual systems by themselves, it's considered what they call a silo configuration. That means if you look at this chart, this could be, I can't read that, but let's just say this is accounting, this is sales, this is inventory, and this is human resources or purchasing. Pick, pick a department, doesn't matter. They're all separate. Now, the problem with that is it works fine for the people in accounting. It works fine for the people in sales. It works fine for people in payroll. But this is the kind of thing that I encountered when I took over the Edison computer operations. Everything was in a silo. Now, that means that if I'm in inventory and you are in sales and you just made 50 sales today on your system, I don't see that in my inventory. I don't see that in my inventory until late at night when somebody who's running the whole system does something called batch processing. And it transfers all the transactions and sales for the day over to the inventory files. Okay? So none of this is integrated. It's a non integrated system. And it's the way things used to be up until maybe less than 20 years ago because I was working on it at my job. So the whole point here to make the business operate more effectively and efficiently is to develop what they call a cross functional business process. Okay. And all these silos are fine, they're out there. Um, it's not the best way to do it, but it is capable of being set up by integrating it with another major system on top, another software system on top of all of this that will make it a transaction oriented. Businesses work on transactions. Sales a transaction, paychecks a transaction, an inventory income is a transaction, etc. The left hand and the right hand does not know what's happening between the two hands. So, an integration by putting your processes in a cross functional situation, you now have, see these separate departments? I'm not going to name them all. You can see them: purchasing, delivery, production, sales, etc. Certain ones absolutely have to talk to each other. So, for example, when I make a sale, okay, it's got to be reflected over here in production because production is producing the items that we're selling and they're obviously holding the inventory. Okay, so they have to talk to each other. Here we have an overlap between marketing, sales, and development. Development is not really defined very well, but you know that marketing and sales have to be able to talk to each other because marketing is preparing the products for sale and finding ways to best sell it, and the sales department is doing the transactions of each sale that's made. And it goes on. I'm not going to explain each one of them. My point is that that's one of the basic understandings you have to have for this chapter If you don't understand that, then you're going to have some problems with some of the questions. So it all comes down to something called an enterprise resource planning system. And that's basically coming in and taking all the planning and all the managing and all the resources, all the silos you have out there, all the data that you have out there in whatever form they're in, and you break it down and you integrate it into the functional areas of the organization so that the right people can get the information that they need to do their job. So the guy that's in the inventory section can get the information from sales, and conversely, the same thing. Inventory has to know what was sold because in another day or so, it's going to go out and it'll disappear. And they have to keep the inventory intact. All right, so that's basically what I'm keeping it simple. The enterprise resource planning system is. It brings it all together. It's just an acronym. Uh, Here's an example how the ERP system solves the information silo issue. These are all the departmental computer systems. They're all different information systems that are separate. Well, this ERP basically cancels out this problem. Cancels out this problem, and there is a layer of software that is placed in between all of these processing links, and it comes over here where it's integrated into a top layer software package. And as you can see and you look at them, it combines all of the various departments that were in the silos, maybe even extras that you've added, and it puts it in a singular, powerful ERP database. All right? And that is basically the key to integrated data processing. Now, there are some benefits to it, no question about it. It makes the corporations or the businesses more flexible, more agile. They can do more things. It improves management because they make timely decisions. Oh, our inventory is going down. Let's bring it back up. It improves the quality of customer service because they're in touch with the customer, report information, and they send it over to sales and marketing, and they analyze it, find out what's selling and what isn't selling. It does have limitations, and that is the fact that the old system may be very difficult to convert to an ERP software system. Some of those systems out there are made by in house programmers and technology people, and they may not be the best. It's also very expensive. The one that I had to do was, I think, $9 million, where we had to convert all the silos that we had, and I brought in basically I brought in a ERP company who had packaged bookshelf software, so they call it, and we had to convert all the data over to new files, which means they take a payroll file, employee name, employee number, rate of pay, job description. You've got to bring that information over into the big system, the new system, and keep the information's fields intact. The employee ID number, the employee name, the employee sex, the employee rate of pay, etc. So it's converting or translating everything into one language. And that's about it. I'm going to stop there.